The nothingness of it all. Littlest things can become the biggest things, and the biggest things can be diminished into the nothingness of it all. Things are crazy right now. As I journey through my imaginary world and blend it into what we deem and call reality, things are crazy out here right now. It's like you have to live life strategically. You have to live life with a vastness of gumption. In the nothingness of it all, when I really think about it on a metaphysical aspect, and at a molecular level, everything that we have, everything that we do, will diminish into the nothingness of it all. But there's always something that we leave behind that still is something, whether it's ideas, whether it's the materialization of creativities, whether it's lifestyles, ideologies, philosophies. Everything that we do will be decided whether it's kept or not. Everything, no matter what it is, someone's going to decide that it's going to stay here. Whether it's you, me, us, we, someone's going to decide. In this life we live, life is one constant change. That's one thing about life. If there's nothing else that we should know, life is a constant of something, a constant of change, a constant of a stream of ideas, a stream of actions, a stream of pain. And I would like to think that love is a constant, which love is a constant because when one side pushes, the other side resists. And because love at times has a tendency to be abstract, It's an obscure word because it describes a feeling, it describes an attachment, it describes position, it describes classification, it describes treatment. We live, we die. I heard someone say, life is a journey, not a destination. And I responded to them. Thing is, they didn't even ask me for my response. But I had to tell them what life really is. Life is not a journey. It is a destination. We are born with a start. When you're born, that is your start. When you die, that is your destination. And everything in between, the life that you live from birth to death, is the journey. Human beings, it's because it's all I know is just Earth species, everything that's on Earth. That's all I know. I mean, I know other species, actually. I could tell you about a lot of other species, but I'd rather not get into that. But I can say this. The catchphrases of a time travel through time. Because if the catchphrase is catchy enough, it can stand the test of time. But it has to have depth, the type of depth that people can attach and relate their acuity to. And if it can give them the challenge of philosophizing, analyzing, soul searching, deep thinking, then those sayings, those catchphrases will stick around. And they will just continue to last and keep going and keep going and keep going. Whether it's a proverb, whether it's a philosophical commentary, or if it's just a saying, that people say for whatever reason. But sometimes these catchphrases, even though they mean well and they describe thoughts and feelings in the moment, a lot of times they're incomplete. They're incomplete. So whoever was the one responsible for the catchphrase, life is a journey, not a destination. Maybe at the time when they said it, because they said it. So obviously that's what they observed and what they felt. But what was not considered in that statement If life is a journey and not a destination, the one thing that was never considered was all journeys have some destination at some point. It has a start. That journey started somewhere and it ended somewhere. Now, whether that destination was intended or not is a difference. And this is not to nullify the statement, but it nullifies itself when you really think about it, because life is a destination and it's called death. See, that's the part. And that was my response. I said, life is a destination. It's called death. And the individual didn't particularly like it because whatever was on their mind, here I go disrupting their flow. But there was an urge to let that be known for a specific reason, because it was something that had to be said to that person to let them know that yes, life has a destination and it's called death. And I specifically followed up and said, journeys have a start, and your start in life is birth. And journeys have an end, and it's usually the destinations. And that destination in life is death. And the life that you live in between is the journey. So even though the statement is well intended that life is a journey, yes, but all journeys have a start and all journeys have an end, whether intended or not. Because think about it. The one who gets in their vehicle and they travel to wherever they're going to, whether it's the grocery store, to a friend's house, out of town, to a job, to the gas station, to see someone that they love, someone that they care about, or maybe they're dating someone. Maybe they just want to go for a ride to get things off of their mind. The moment that they decide to leave, that's the start of that journey for that time, for that moment. And then when they get into their automobile and they pull off and they're riding to wherever their destination is, all the while they're on that journey, right? They had a start and they have an end. Now this is where it gets twisted, because these things do happen. On that journey, this is what I meant by whether it is intended or not. The destination is intended or not. They get into a severe accident and they pass away. And or they're severely injured where they lose mobility or something. That was unintended. That was an unintended destination. Usually people don't have intentions on doing that. Most people. Knowing that that's a risk, but most people don't think about that. We don't usually think about the risk of what we call driving. That coffee's good. You want to hear me drink a little bit? Into the nothingness of it all. Life has a destination because life had a beginning. Whether it's intended or not, in between, the life that you live in between is the journey. At this time, in this day and age, this stage of life, at the age that you are, this is a part of the journey, this experience. What we do about it matters. You have to be active, not reactive. Because reaction is the state of acting on an action. And why it's pertinent to be actionary and not reactionary is because you're always going to have to be reactionary anyway, because for every action there is a return of action, which is the reaction. So in this time, in this manner, there's a lot of good. There is a lot of good in this. As a matter of fact, it really is all good. It really is. As we enter into, and really we're already living into the nothingness of it all, because everything changes. Everything has a time. Everything. Everything that we do, everything that we build, everything that we think. You know, the one thing that is unchanging, there are many things that don't change. Because in order for these things to continue, certain things must remain the same. Certain beings want to change the molecular nature of human existence, deeming the human being as inefficient, as incapable, as limited. So now they want to bring about additions and transitions. When the very nature of the human being, or shall I say, the being, doesn't need anything because it is everything.